Good morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is for you. Welcome to today's Sit and Talk. My name is Maria. I'll be with you this week, and particularly this morning. I invite you to settle in, find a place of comfort and ease, a place where you can just be here. Allow yourself to just be here. Find a place of sitting or lying down or standing, whatever posture is most comfortable for you, that allows you to be present in this room, awake, alert, and at ease. And if it's easy for you, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let it slowly out. And as you breathe out, let that breath anchor you to all that is around you. Let it be a way of easing yourself into this time. Maybe take another breath and slowly let it out. And allow the process of breathing to simply be that, the process of air moving in and out of your body. Allow the body to simply be here with the process of being alive. Notice your body slowly settling, coming to rest in its position, whatever that position. Resting, but so very much here. Feel yourself connected to the earth, to the surface you're on. Know that you are on this surface. Take note of your body on this surface, your toes, your feet, your knees, your hips, your bottom, your waist, your shoulders. Let the shoulders sink down. You can feel your elbows, your hands. Let your head rock slightly on the neck until it hangs just suspended from the center of the top of your head. Soothe your forehead, the tops of your cheekbones, along the edge of your jaw. Just relax. And notice your breathing again. Allow this body to be here, unguarded by anything but their breath. Just the safety of breathing in and out. No need for any other thoughts. Just here I am with my breath, this body and the breath. For now, just this. Are you still with your body? Are you still in the room? Still here in this space? If not, gently, oh so gently, come back to here. It's in this moment here that we're most awake. No jarring, just here, just like this, just as we are. If there are troubles, we can just let them be there and just breathe. It's okay. For now, we're safe right here because right now we're just sitting, just standing, just lying, just walking, just this. As the breath become more shallow, as it become more deep, stay with the breath. Stay in the room. As the mind wandered, gently bring it back. Just for now, just be here. Know the being here part. Just be here. And how is the breath now? Be with your breath like a loving parent with a child who cares what's happening. How are you breathing? Is the breath soft? Nurture your being here. Be gentle with yourself.
Unknown
here.
caller.
In the last few minutes of our sit this morning, bring to mind what it's like to simply be here. No other worries, no other concerns. And if it seems difficult to just be here, be gentle with that. Oh, it seems difficult to just be here. I'd like to be okay with just being here. Here seems difficult. Oh, I can breathe here, though. I can just breathe. No other expectations. The body knows how to breathe. No expectations. None. Just be. Know that you're being. Be aware of just being. No judgments. No worries. Just be. Just here. Just for these few minutes. Just now. Just for now. So, hello. Again, hello. I apologize for the phone going off. Sort of the nature of things as they are. This, at least the internet stayed on, which was not a given when I began this morning. Thank you to the women who are guiding us on the recording of this morning and putting us out on YouTube, because my internet didn't work when I got up this morning. So it's the nature of things, isn't it? We show up and this is what happens. Just this, whatever this is what happens. This is what's happening right here, right now, whatever it is. So this morning and this week, what I would like to talk about are the 5 precepts. Now, Diana last week gave everybody a break from lists. So this week I'm going to be listing all over the place. But the truth is, all of the things that she talked about, the leaning of the heart, these are the things that matter. And the lists are just ways of us to consider how we are in the world. How do we behave in the world? How do we live in the world? How do we get away from suffering in the world? They're all just ways of thinking about it. So that's the spirit in which we're going to examine the precepts. The precepts especially are something that is sort of taken for granted. It's kind of a boring topic, sort of lifeless. And what I'd like to do is put a little life in them. So when we talk about suffering and the end of suffering, which is kind of what Buddhism is all about, suffering and the end of suffering, the way to the end of suffering is found in the Eightfold Path. The Eightfold Path kind of breaks down into 3 sections. There's the wisdom section, wise view, wise intention. There's the action section, behavior, how we are in the world, how we are in with relationship to one another, wise action, wise speech, wise livelihood, wise effort. There is the meditative part that has to do with mindfulness and samadhi. And it's that section about ethical conduct in the world, how we are in the world, that we want to address through the precepts. So it's a major part of how do we bring an end to suffering in the world? How do we end suffering for ourselves and other people? So the precepts are a form of concentration. They can be a form of ritual. They're principles of conduct. What they are not is a list of commandments. They're not cut and dried. This is what you do. You do this, it's right. If you do that, it's wrong. These are not the precepts. The precepts are really about how do we navigate all the choices we make in the world? How do we create a world by how we approach the world, what our mindset is in the world? So we mostly encounter the world. We mostly encounter the precepts, I'm sorry, in terms at the beginning of ceremonies, at the beginning of retreats, sometimes at the end of retreats, we'll go through a list of the precepts. And it's sort of to set the tone, right? My husband and I also use the precepts in our wedding ceremony. It's quite common to do that. These are the conditions under which we want to conduct our marriage. This is what we want to keep in mind when we do this activity, whatever it may be. So the 5 precepts cover the 5 basic ways that we are in the world. So the first one, and they all, by the way, have to do with non-harming. They all have to do with non-harming self and others. The first one is, I undertake the precept to refrain from the taking of life of any living being. And note the phrasing of these. I undertake the precept. I undertake the principle to refrain from taking the life of any living being. Number 2, I undertake the precept to refrain from taking that which is not freely given. Number 3, I undertake the precept to refrain from false and harmful speech. Number 4, I undertake the precept to refrain from sexual misconduct. And number 5, I undertake the precept to refrain from consuming intoxicants and drugs that can lead to carelessness. So those are the 5 things that we want to talk about. Now, all societies or organizations have kind of a set of principles that they operate by. And so these precepts are not unique to Buddhism. They're not unique to our society in general. All societies have things that are, part of our tribe. We don't kill each other. Not killing is one of the primary human characteristics that make us humans. We don't kill each other. Now, we, of course, do, as humans, kill each other. In order to do that, we have to make enemies of those people. We have to make enemies of those things, those living beings that we kill. We have to justify. We have to somehow make them other than us. There is a very strong we, they component to the ability of killing. I'm going to read you a really short story. It's going to seem long though, so let me go through it. So this is by Naomi Shihab Nye. It's called Someone I Love. Someone I love so much cut down my primrose patch. It looked like an oval of overgrown weeds to him in the front yard near the black mailbox on the post. He did not know that for weeks I'd been carefully tending and watering it as a few primroses floated their pink heads above the green mass, unfurled their delicate bonnets. With dozens of buds waiting to shine, we were on the brink, everything popping open. Despite the headlines, all sweet flower beings from under the ground, remembering what they were supposed to do. He mowed it down with the old push lawnmower. I was out of town. He didn't ask his father, who knew how precious it was to me. His father was in the back while it was happening and didn't see. There wasn't a second thought. Why would we have such a tall patch in the yard? What does my mother do when she comes out here with the old shovel and bucket and the mysterious sacks of rose food and mulch poking around in the earth, trimming, the clippers in her pocket, bending to the wild tangle of jasmine on the fence? the Dutchman's pipe, the happy oregano, the funny cacti crowding together in complicated profusion like a family, the miniature chilies. What does she do? Why is this here? He just cut it down. It wasn't easy. He must have pushed really hard to get it to go. When I stood outside in my nightie the next dreamy, sweet morning at dawn after returning home on the midnight plane, watering my bluebonnets, snapdragons, butterfly bush lantana, wanting to feel tied to earth again as I always do when I get home, rooted in soil and stone and old caliche and bamboo and trees, 100 years of memory in their trunks, and bushes we didn't plant, and the healthy esperanza never losing her hope, and the banana palms just poking out their fine and gracious greenery. When I finally saw what was gone, what wasn't there, not there, impossible, I was so shocked I let the hose run all over my bare feet. The cold stun of fury filled me, sorrow rising and pouring into questions. Who could do this? Why? How could anyone? I thought of the time my daddy came home to find every head cut off his giant sunflowers right after they had opened their faces to the sky. Only the empty stalks remaining, his disbelieving sorrow as he went to his room and lay down on the bed and closed his eyes and thought, I will not mention this. I am too sad to mention it. It is the pain of people everywhere, the pain this year deserves. But at breakfast, I went a little strange, like the lady down the street who shows up at people's doors with a snarling dog and a hammer in her pocket. I went wild and furious, and he swore they just looked like weeds to him. Why hadn't I warned him? Why did I only tell Dad? I pointed them out to you weeks ago, I said. He said, I don't remember flower things like that. And it was the season of blooming and understanding. It was the season of hiding from headlines, wondering what it would do if the whole house had been erased, or just the books and paintings, or what about the whole reckless garden, or then it gets unthinkable, but we make ourselves think it now and then to stay human. The child's arms or legs, what would I do? If I did not love him, who would I become? If I did not love him, who would I become? And this is why we practice the precepts. Not because we're likely to go out and murder people, but because it is the engendering in us of the spirit of reverence for all living things that we need to cultivate. The precepts are not about prohibitions. They're about cultivating in us the spirit of keeping live things alive, the spirit of keeping us alive. This first precept of refraining from killing any living being isn't only about murder. It's about not killing people's spirit, about not killing people's dreams, about not killing our own dreams, about not killing our own spirit. We need to contemplate what this means in our lives. What does it mean to have guns in our society? What does it mean in the vast realm of human interactions, what we think about violence? What is violence? What constitutes violence in your life? To some people, a riot of color is violence. To some people, being in an enclosed space is violence. What do we do with anger in our lives? Do we nurture it? Do we keep justifying the anger we have in our lives? Or do we say, no, I don't want to hold that anger in my life? Because if I didn't love you, what might I become? What might I become? We can ask ourselves questions and reflect on them. How does it feel when we're greedy? When we are cruel? Ooh, yeah, I didn't really intend to hurt that person, but ooh, that was really misunderstood. I didn't mean that. Are we aware of the unintended consequences of what we do? Can we see it and say, oh, wow, I didn't intend that. I must be careful. Do we review our intentions in the light of, I wish to respect all living beings, promote all living beings, nurture all living beings? How do I do that? How do I engender that habit? I'm going to read you another poem by Naomi Shihab Nye. It's called Each Day We Are Given So Many Gifts. I did it. I made friends with a fly. Yawn a little pause, relighting the breath. Blink a break from sun's sharp gaze. Yesterday evening after rain, the world tiled rosy. Such brief slips of minutes. As if someone got her wish, we could live in pink. Hold a shining note. Release someone else's anger. We practice with moments. We practice with tiny things. It becomes a habit of mind, a habit of attitude, that we engender peace and gentleness toward ourselves and others. We don't start out by simply saying, well, I'm not going to murder anybody. Great, nice. No, we start out by letting the ant out the door, by not having sugar around that ants are attracted to, so then I have to deal with the ants. By chasing the fly out the door rather than killing it. And then saying, wow, that felt pretty good. Huh, I'm going to do more of that. Decide what you're going to do more of. Cultivate the gentle in your life. The first precept of vowing not to harm living beings isn't just about vegetarianism. It's about cultivating respect for life, engendering respect for life. Take the precept, reflect on it, review your intentions in light of it, consider it. Let it become a part of who you are, so that gentleness, true gentleness, lives in your heart. Thank you. May you have a gentle day, a life full of life. Thank you.